Hello, hello! Who's ready for the expanding Dresden Christmas tree skirt sew along? It is so long, right? The big one. I think that's much easier. So we're ready to start the sew along this week, and I was going to just stream straight into the sew along group here on school. But because that feature is still very, very new, I didn't want to risk the recording going poof lost into the ethers somewhere, in the World Wide Web. So that's why I figured I'm gonna stream to YouTube first, and I'll share that. I actually did share the link inside the school group too, but that's where all the replays will live. Okay, so we have few folks here. I know it's like, oh, where are we going? Is it here? Is it there? But we are all here, and I hope you got my email too. It went out, and I was like, let's see how that works. So we have Sonia's here from Puerto Rico. Janet's joining us from Pahrump, Nevada. Rhonda from South Carolina. And Hannah is here from Denmark. And Dee Lynn is here from upstate New York. Welcome. And Jilly from Louisiana. And Zaza is joining us from Scotland. Oh, I would freeze, I think. Is it, wait, you call it sunny Scotland and then it's like what, 63 degrees or something? How hot is it there, Zaza? Let us know. And Melissa is joining us from Washington State. Love it, love it, love it. So we're doing quick introductions today, and if you're joining us, please do say hello in the comments. Oh my gosh, we do have to say hello to Wendy. Oh, you're still in the hospital. I hope you get to go home soon. Do you know when you get to go home, Wendy? I do hope you get to go home soon. Very, very, very soon. Yeah. But I hope you're feeling better. I'm guessing you're feeling a little bit better since you're here on the live stream with us. Big hug to you. And then we have Terry's joining us from Maryland, 70 degrees. Lori! It wiped out my comment. Oh no! Your comment disappeared. Dang it. Here from sunny warm Pennsylvania. All right. Jenny, you made it! Oh, you're at the Denver airport, headed to Dallas to see the Grants. Oh, safe flight and safe travels, Jenny. Love it, love it. So happy that you were able to pop in with us, though. So, whether you're doing the 40 or 48 inch, this first round in the expanding Dresden Christmas tree skirt, the big one. Can I just call it the big one from now on? Or the tree skirt, just to make it easier. It's the same whether you're making the 40 or 48 inch. So make sure you grab your 8 templates. So I actually decided to experiment with 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Usually I stick to 1/4 inch seam allowance. That's my preferred choice of seam allowance width. But I was like, I'm gonna play with the 3/8 this time. So I opted to go for the 3/8. I did, however, not remove the protective paper covering that covers the seam allowance. So you can indeed see that it's a little thicker than a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch would be much. Do I have a 1/4 inch one? Ah, yes. Why I do. Yeah. So this one only has a 1/4 inch. So you can see the difference, right? Between 1/4 inch seam allowance and a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So this is template A. That's what we're going to do today, round 1. Okay. And if you're making a Dresden or a Christmas tree skirt, there will be 2 things you'll be looking out for. Obviously, for the skirt version, we're not making the center circle, right? So whether you got the digital downloads or the paper pieces, I made sure to include the center template in case you decided, nah, this is not going to be a skirt, it's going to be a Dresden, So you have that template too. You definitely have options. So technically, for all our digital download users, you got 4 options, right? 40 inch or 48 inch skirt or a Dresden. Okay. So whether you're making that or not, then you would obviously have to decide, oh, what kind of fabric do I want for my center? But we'll be starting on the 8 templates today. So bust out your 8 templates. And I hope you all have chosen fabrics for your 8 templates too. And if you haven't, that's still okay. You have plenty of time to get inspired by what you see. And if you haven't joined the sew along group yet, make sure to do so because that's where all the participants are sharing their fabric choices. So I'll go ahead and share the link to the sew along group. The group is free to join, so come on over there and jump in. Let's see, school. Oh no, not school. Actually, I can share the school link too. No, then it'll be confusing. Let me share the link that I'll be sharing. Elise.live sew along. Sew along. There we go. And I'll share that to the screen too. So you can see it's Elise.live. Did I spell that right? Yes, /sew along. And then come join us inside the sew along group. That way you can see what fabrics the participants have been sharing and what they're contemplating, and coloring pages that they've been working on to decide on which colors to do for each round for a particular fabric collection they have. So even if you can't input the exact fabric in the coloring pages, you can kind of get like an overall like idea by just coloring the color, the main color of your print. For example, let's say, where did I put that? Let's see, I was to use this fabric for my A templates, then I would just go ahead and color in this color green with my coloring pencils or coloring pens, just to see what that round would look like before adding on the next rounds, right? Okay, so that is not the fabric I'm using, but just thought I'd show. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I missed anyone here. We got June's joining us from Nebraska, Elaine from California, Penny's from Michigan, yay! And Dan here, it says Misty here in Missouri, ooh, Roberta! Let's see, and Kelly's joining us from Cleveland, Ohio, love it, love it. Yes, we're all wishing Wendy good wishes and hope she gets to go home soon. Let's see here. Hi, Sherry. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our 8 templates. And I would love to know in the comments too, are you making the 40-inch or 48-inch? That's a good one too. Let's see here. Where's my scrappy piece of fabric that I had prepared? There we go. I tried to demo like the basting directions with solids just so that it's easy for everyone to see. And I have like a truckload of this pink, so I was like, I'm just gonna use it. Okay, let me switch cameras. Let's cross our fingers that all the tech will work fine. Let's see here. Okay, Lori's making the 48-inch. Yay! And Angela's excited to start on the big one. Okay. Oh, Sherry's doing the 40-inch. Roberta's 48. Hannah's doing 40-inch table topper. So Hannah, you'll definitely want to consider what you want to fill in for the center of your dress then. Angela's doing the 42 and Julie's doing the 48. Awesome sauce. All right. So whether you're making the 40, 48-inch or table topper Dresden or Christmas tree skirt, all the 8 templates will be the same. That's one good thing. Okay, let's switch camera and see how it goes. And Sasa's making the 48-inch too. Let's see. Look at that. Ta-da! And can you still hear me? Tells me like my mic's muted, but I don't think I'm muted. Patty's making the 48. Sasa's making the 48-inch. Love it. Yes, Melissa's going 48, going big. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, Sasa's, you're making 2. You're making a 48-inch and a 40-inch. Oh, I love that. So if you don't have the acrylic templates, don't worry. You can also make it with like template plastic. So that's another option too. I'm just going to show. So usually I'm not too concerned when it comes to EPP about grain lines. So I'll angle my template just to go along with the flat side. If you're very concerned about grain lines, you could keep it going on the straight grain like so. But for EPP, it's pretty flexible. But I don't want all this little ravelly stuff, so I'm going to trace it a little bit inside. And just trace with a friction pen, like so. And then cut it out. I'm a scissor cutter. You might prefer to cut your fabric with a rotary knife cutter, then that's fine too. But I find I get more precision with a scissor, so I prefer to use scissors. And ever since I was introduced to these, hooked, absolutely hooked. Very, very nice scissors, and they just like grip the fabric, very easy to cut. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut one. So I think round A is like one of the easiest rounds too, and which is nice because we're just getting started, right? So even if you're new to EPP, don't worry, you're totally gonna be okay following along. And then I got one template here. Let me stay in the camera view there. Oh, let's see here. Oh, D says, I'm doing 48-inch. Not sure if it's going to be a tabletop or a tree skirt. Yeah, you actually got an option to like keep on working as if it's going to be a tree skirt. And then you can always, let me change. You can always change to a completed dress. And if you want, even at the final end, right? So you're not stuck like, oh, I've been working on making this as a tree skirt all this way, but now I kind of want to make a full dress then. Definitely possible towards the end. Let's see. Let's see if the overhead camera's back. No, let's see. Ah, there we go. All right, so I've got my template, and I'm just using good old Elmer's school washable school glue. If you are a thread baster, can't talk today. If you are a thread baster, I know Hanne is a thread baster, and so you might want to take a peek at how she does her templates. She does beautiful thread basting. So I just put a little glue on the back just to make sure I center my piece. Totally not necessary, but if you're new to EPP, that might help you make sure that your paper piece is centered on your fabric. And if you're like more experienced, you can totally skip that. I do it sometimes, I don't do it sometimes. It just depends on the mood, right? So, and then let's see, did I see any question here? Oh, and Jenny's making the 48 as a quilt center. Oh, love it. Uh, Ooh, I did not know that. Salsa says apparently the micro serration on the edge of the Karen K Buckley scissors helps prevent fabric fraying. So yeah, if you see here on the edge of the scissors here, they're serrated. So it looks like little teeth, and they actually grip the fabric when you cut it, so it doesn't go slippery like sideways, which is really nice. So I think, yeah, I think that's why I kind of enjoy cutting with those. So we got this one. Is everyone following along? Super easy so far, yes? Not hard at all. And what I like to do on the A templates, so I do give basting directions to make sure your templates nest. These are fairly straightforward, but I like to start on the short sides first. And I baste all the way into the seam allowance with my glue. See how I put glue all the way into the seam allowance here? But I try to avoid getting glue all the way to the edge of the paper. We don't want the glue all the way to the edge because that's when it makes it really hard to sew your pieces together because the glue here gets gummy and really hard and thick and your needle has problems going through it, right? So I like to put glue all the way to the seam allowance and then we'll just fold it over. And when you fold over, don't drag it too hard that you actually end up pulling on the fabric. That's when you'll get distorted shapes, okay? So you just really need to fold it over and push it down. And here again, I put glue all the way to the seam allowance. Avoid getting glue on the edge as much as possible. If you do get some on there, don't worry. You'll get over it. I'll get over it. We all get over it. It's not at the end of the world, okay? And then I push that down. And then I can come and do the two long sides. Don't do the short side yet. Do the two long sides. Like so. And then just hold it down a little bit so it sticks. And if you're making a Dresden where you're going to add the center, do not baste the center. So if you're making a Dresden where you're going to attach the center, do not baste the center. You're actually just going to go ahead and EPP applicate on top of all the edges here of the A templates, okay? And if you're making the Christmas tree skirt version too, don't rush basting this edge piece here. Not yet. You don't really need to because technically you're going to have to open it anyways when we sew it together with the backing, right? Okay, now my camera froze. Let's switch. So don't baste the top. Just leave that unbasted, whether you're doing the skirt or the full Dresden. If you're making the full Dresden, you're going to open it because you're going to applicate the center to all the open seam allowances of the A templates. And if you're making the skirt, we're actually going to open it as well towards the end. So might as well leave it unbasted. So save yourself one side, don't baste it. But if you're thread basting, it might help putting your pieces together. So then go ahead and baste it because it'll open up really easy for our thread basters. Glue basters, do not baste the edge. Okay, let me say that one more time. Do not baste the bottom edge. You're not going to baste that one. You're going to leave it unbasted, like so. So we're only glue basting 4 sides. And for thread basting, if you need to baste this side just so everything is stabilized, go ahead and do so. But you will be opening this up to pop it open. Let's see if that's helpful. Any questions so far? Susan, hello! See, and Dee says, I'm doing a 48-inch. Not sure if it's going to be a table topper or a tree skirt. Yeah, so you don't have to make a decision yet. Let's see here. Oh, and Salsa just found out about the micro serration on the effect that it won't fray your fabrics. That's really good to know because I found like a lot of my Kona solids and Bella solids, Kona from Robert Kaufman and Bella solids from Moda, they tend to fray quite a bit, which is why I lean hard towards the solids from Art Gallery fabrics because they're the ones that unravel the least. But that's good to know about the Karen K. Buckley scissors. Yeah, great tip. Thanks for sharing, Salsa. So go ahead and baste 4 sides. Do the short sides first and the 2 long sides. And you want to stay consistent for all your pieces in the way you baste them. That'll actually make it easy when you have 2 pieces. I'll show you the fabric that I am using for my expanding Dresden. I got like a little rabbit ears. Hello. So this is the fabric I'm using, Tilda, that the lovely Julie from Intrepid Thread sent me. There we go. See how my bottoms are not basted? And I basted the 2 short sides first and then the 2 long sides. Why? And I stay consistent because once I start putting these wrong sides together to sew them, having basted the long side last, let's see if the overhead camera decides to cooperate with us. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. By basting the long sides last, when I match them up, right sides together to start sewing them together, I can make sure this side is aligned. We're not really too concerned about this edge matching up, so if it's a little uneven, don't worry about it. You want to make sure the papers are flush here on the tip edge and on the side. And because we basted the long sides last and we stay consistent, you're able to see the exact seam. If I go back and forth, it might not always match up perfectly because you might have a little softer corner here the way you baste it. So try to stay consistent in your basting, and then it'll be much easier to match up your pieces as you're starting to sew these together. Let's see. All right, yeah, so I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead, maybe cap my glue, get a needle and some thread. So I'm using this one. It's because I got this big honking spool. I've used this a lot. Let's see, focus camera. It's the Superior Threads bottom line, 60 weight, and it's color natural white, number 624. Some folks like the white, and there's a slightly off-white one too. They all look very similar. So whatever you prefer to use, that's fine. And then I'm using a size 11. Let's see. Something's going on. Size 11 milliner's needle. And then there's obviously lots of preferences as it comes to needles and thread. So if you have a favorite one that you like to use, go ahead and use that. There's no wrong thread. As long as it's not too thick. When it's like thick thread, beyond 50 weight, then that's when you're going to see lots of thread stitches on front. And some stitches, they're going to show. It's just natural. But the thicker the thread, the more it will show on the front. So I want to, don't go beyond 50 weight thread. Don't go heavier than that. Let's see. Now it won't let me flippity flop. Okay, there we go. And we're back. So this is the one I basted. Let's go directions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And do not baste that side. I'll just leave that there. So I got my needle and thread. And I make sure these sides are matched up and this side. Not too concerned of whether this is perfectly aligned or not towards the inside. And I'm just gonna start. Since I'm right-handed, I like to start from right And I have a knot on my thread. I'm going to do a second stitch and wrap it around the needle so that it's nice and secure. Like so. See how it's stuck? It won't come undone. And then I can sew all the way down here. And you don't have to sew all the way down into the seam allowance, but I would come a few stitches, 3-4 stitches in, just so that you don't have it go straight to the edge of the paper only. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. And then we always have lots of discussion about stitch length, how many stitches per inch. As long as it doesn't look like a satin stitch, where it's like the thick, like really, really dense stitching that you'll see on embroidery, you're okay. You don't want that because we don't want to perforate the fabric too much. But I think my stitches are between a 1/16 and an inch and 1/8 of an inch. It's like somewhere in between there. And as long as you don't see a gap when you tug on your pieces a little bit, then you're okay. And if you find that your stitches are a little too close, that's okay too. It takes a little getting used to so that you kind of get in the groove of the stitch length that it's comfortable for you to work with. But as long as it's not too wide, because then it'll be too loose and your pieces will start to fall apart. If you even tug on it a little bit, or let's say you throw it in the wash, we don't want everything to come apart, right? There we go. And I'll just keep on sewing. Let's see. Wait, they are cutting with the microscopic pinking? Oh. Oh, Wendy, that actually makes sense. Yeah. No wonder. No wonder it stays put. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. I just lost my needle. It got undone from the thread. So I just keep on going. Ouch. I poke myself. See here. I turned on extra lights today, so I'm like really, really hot. Although the AC is running, like all these spotlights on me, like let's see. Has anyone stood on stage with spotlights? You'll know what I'm talking about. It gets really, really hot. Let's see here. Okay, let me mark where my, so you can see, this is where my paper ends, right there. But I'm gonna make stitches. Oops, there we go. Let's see. Something's going on. This is painfully annoying. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. So I marked where the end of my paper is here on the end. See that? I just drew with the friction pen. So I'm going to make sure you see that I take a few stitches beyond where the paper ends. I'm just going to take 2 or 3 stitches. See? Right there. That's where my paper ends, but I'm taking a few extra stitches. And then I want to make sure I knot it and secure it. Just wrap it around your needle a couple of times and then boom, we're done with the first side. So these come together really, really fast. And then I just like to bury my thread in the seam allowance and then give it a little snip. Let's see here. There we go. You can see that. Super easy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like everything was working earlier. Now I'm like super annoyed. Okay, so we have this and I've sewn a few pieces ahead of time so you can kind of see. Super easy. Just make sure you align this side here and this side because that's where you're going to sew. Don't worry too much if these sides aren't matching up completely because they'll be hidden anyways. Let me trim that. And then we just continue adding these until you have the whole unit. But I like to break it up into quarters. So I just did this one. Then I have 2 more quarter units here like that. So I can fit it onto the screen. So you don't have to try to add all these pieces one by one to a bulky unit, right? Let me, okay, this is, so don't try to add one by one and then go around a circle because that's going to be very bulky. Just do in units like this, split them up for whatever is comfortable for you. And then if you're making the skirt, then you want to make sure you leave one side disconnected, right? Let's see if we can put this together like a little puzzle. Oh, okay. What I mean is like this. Imagine this is the whole circle, okay? So you want to leave one side disconnected. Don't complete a full circle if you're making the skirt. Leave this one side open, but you can always undo it. Let's say you're like, oh, you got like really sewy happy and like, whoa, started sewing everything together and it became a full circle. Then that's when your handy dandy seam ripper is gonna come in handy. But if you're making the full Dresden, make the circle. And if you're making the skirt, sew all the sides together except for the final side, leave that open because that's where the slit is gonna go for the skirt, okay? Let's see if we have any questions. Da, da, da. Sasa says, these pieces are big compared to the original expanding Dresden. Oh yeah, these are like humongous compared to the original expanding Dresden. So I was like, oh, like, so I think that's the one of the trickier part. If you're used to using smaller templates for smaller projects, then these are gonna be a little, well, much bigger than what you're used to. But what's nice is that you're gonna see it growing much faster too. And then I didn't want to keep like the pieces original size as the original expanding Dresden because then we would need like 30 rounds to like make one Christmas tree skirt size, right? So hence the bigger sizes. But I like it because you can actually see more of the print too. So it's fun. So it's a challenge for me too and something fun, something new to try out. So make sure you sew your 8 templates into units like this. And then you can come together like that. Let's see if the camera will agree with us now. There we go. Yes. So into separate units like this. Yada, da. And then come and put them together. And again, line them up here in the tip and on the sides. And then sew the side. So you have the completed unit like that. And make sure you, for your final side, if you're making the skirt, leave one connecting side open. So it's like this. You don't want it completely sewn into a full circle. Okay? Let's see here. Coral, so glad you could join us. Oh, 5:30 a.m. Holy moly. That is early. See, Coral's like hardcore. Well, thank you for joining us. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any questions at all. Yes, it's gonna be so fun to fussy cut for the outer rows, definitely. So one thing too, I wanted to cover in case you're super new to EPP or you're kind of like, I don't know which fabrics to use yet. Let's see here. I wanted to show you with some fabrics that have a that are directional, right? So those are the ones you want to pay a little closer attention to and decide if you're using directional fabric, do you want them to face in towards the center of the skirt or face out towards the outer rings, okay? So that's one thing you need to take into consideration. And I'll show you here with these fabrics that I have. So see how, yeah, let's see if, I'm gonna wait for the camera to come back for us. Let's see here. Good morning, Elizabeth. Oh, all our Aussies are joining us. Love it. Here's the camera. Okay. So see how these are stripes? They're directional. So if I decided to use my 8 templates here, I might want to look for a center, like the center point here. So I get a little bit of each color that I want to include in the stripes. That's going to have a really fun effect. So all your expanding Dresdens will look quite different depending on the fabrics and the directionality of the fabric prints that you choose, okay? So stripes, I could decide to go this way, or I could decide to go that ways, right? Zoop. So lots of different options for you to play with. But this is the time when I wouldn't just be placing my templates like that, because then all your stripes are gonna angle in a fun way, weird way, fun way, odd way. So I want to make sure I align my template straight up and down. So I get the straight lines like so. So what I meant, I don't want to go like this. See how the stripes are going through at an angle of the template? I want to align the template so my stripes are going straight through top to bottom. Or if you want the angled look, definitely go ahead and do it that way too. There, whatever makes you happy. And then we also have directional prints where the print is only going in one way, right? Say from top to bottom. So you kind of want to consider do I want the trees there? And are they going to face in? See how the trees would be facing in towards the expanding Dresden this way? Or do I want the trees to face out? See, this is the center, and then the trees will be facing out towards the next round that you're applying. So those are just a few things to take into consideration. And also, when I cut my templates, I usually like to go like this. I'll show on this one. So I'll trace one. I'll just do it like this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And then I'll flip one and just make it flush against the second one, like that, to trace it. Okay, like that, up and down. But so this one I could definitely do that with as well, right? I could just go up and down and up and down because you can't really tell what's up or down on this stripe. But here, that's where you want to pay close attention to, so you're not like, oh, I'm not gonna have enough fabric because I cut some the wrong way. If I want all the trees to be facing in towards the, hold on here, let's see. Come on, camera, come back to us. Let's see. Ah, there we go. If I want all the trees to face in towards the center, I can't trace one that's going this way and the second template going that way, right? Because then you have trees going up and down, unless that's what you want. So pay close attention to if you're using striped fabric like this, or if you're using directional fabric that's only one directional. It doesn't have a tossed pattern where they all go every other way, because then you can just trace whichever way you want to. But here, if I wanted all my trees to face out towards the skirt and have the center here, then I would make sure to keep on tracing my template this way. Okay, I wouldn't flip it this way and that way, because then the trees will be upside down on some of your templates. So that's one thing that you want to take into consideration. Happy! So glad you could join us. I hope that makes sense. So if you're completely new, make sure you join the Sew Along group, because that's where a lot of our experienced EPPers and Sew Alongers are. So that's where you can ask questions, and we'll all be there to help you, help you along. Let's see. Oops, we got some new members. Let me let them in. So that's why I wanted to have a focused Sew Along group so we can all help each other out together. Let's see here. And Coral's making the 48-inch skirt. Yes. Let me switch camera. Let's see if there's any questions so far. I think this is pretty straightforward, right? The A round is like the easiest one. Let's see here. Ah, Melissa says, your fabric is so cute. I like this, but it's like, I don't want to cut into it. I only have like so much, and like, what do I make out of it? And then, you freak out, you're like frozen. But I tried to see if I had enough for the expanding Dresden, but because of the directionality, I didn't have quite enough. So, but I'm loving these Tilda fabrics. And I even play with brown fabric, Sasa. So, there's quilters that make beautiful quilts and projects with brown fabric. For some reason, I have like this brown fabric block. It's like, I don't know what to do with brown fabric. Like, what do I do with it, right? But then, was it Terry or was it, who was it in the EPP Society that made like this beautiful Hexy Magic block using browns? I was like, I kind of want those browns in my, fabric stash now. But yes, so Tilda, the new Tilda collection has quite a bit of browns in it. I was like, I'm going to try it. And I'm liking it so far. Yes, replay will be inside the group, Wendy, so you can catch up when you're back home. Let's see here. Any other questions? Then if you're still undecided on fabric, and you kind of want to experiment a little bit, try with the solid too, just to kind of see what you like. And there's like lots of different ways that you can make it with. Oh, and Melissa asked, are you going to fussy cut the bigger pieces with your Tilda fabric? I did start prepping some. I had to like make it work because of the size of the project. And I tried fussy cutting some. Because I don't know, I got this thing like I don't want like a half cut face on one of my templates. Ew. And you know how Tilda, this collection has the woman's face hiding like between some of the prints. I was like, oh, I can't cut into her face. It's just a weird thing. So I fussy cut around her face. That's what I did. If that makes sense. And like, yeah, and I don't like half cut limbs. Like the hand was cut off. I was like, oh my God, no. So if it doesn't look like a hand, I would keep it. But if it looked like a chopped off hand in one of my pieces, then I was like, oh no, I gotta like work around it. So I did fussy cut, but in the opposite way. Not to keep it, but to like exclude cut off limbs and like cut faces. I don't know. It's like this thing. I just can't do it. It's like I can't have cut off faces or limbs in my projects. Yes. Oh, Sasa asks, what collection is your pink fabric? This one is from. Oh my God! It's not from a collection. It's from a. You guys remember the good old Craftsy days? Got it from Craftsy like way, way, way back. So it's. I don't even think it's part of a collection. It's either a Kona solid or a. It feels like Kona. I think it's a Kona solid. Yes. Next week we'll do basting and sewing for round 2, Jenny. Yeah. So just get round A, all the round A templates basted and sewn together. And don't forget to leave one connecting side open. Let's say these are all round and you're going to leave one side open if you're making the skirt. If you're making the dress, then just make the full circle. Let's see here. Ooh. Oh, the pink tree fabric. Oh, doi. I was like, the solid? I don't know. I think it's a Kona solid. Doing. This one is from let's see. I have it in blue too. Isn't it annoying when there's no selvage? It's a Pixie Noel, but I don't know which Pixie Noel it is. Hold up. Because I know she came out with 2 Pixie Noels. Does this one have it? Of course it's cut off. Nope. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I wish they had like continuous selvages so you always get like the oh, here we go. Pixie Noel by Tasha Noel. Although here we go. So it's called Pixie Noel. And then, of course, the camera decides to frizz out. It's called Pixie Noel by Tasha Noel. So she came out with Pixie Noel 2 too. So Pixie Noel by Tasha Noel. For Riley Blake Designs. Right? Yes, for Riley Blake. And Happy said, I don't know which one I'm making. I'll just join it later. Yeah, you can just leave that one side and then just join it later. Or if you decide you wanted to make the Dresden and then decide you want to make a skirt, just open up that side with your best friend. So no problem. Oh my gosh, yes, save the missing limbs for Halloween. Good idea, Melissa. Yeah, so it's just one thing with like any print that has like human looking faces or limbs, then I don't want to cut it. So I try to cut around it unless I can get like the whole thing in one piece, right? Let's see here. Oh, Susan's making her last texie on her Christmas tree. Now to sew 4 pieces together. Hooray! It's gonna be ready for this Christmas, Susan. I'm so excited for you. Let's see. And Jenny, I know like you're already experienced, so you can go ahead and base round 2 if you want to. So definitely your choice. If you can choose to work ahead if you'd like. But I'm just making sure we can all stay consistent since we have lots of beginners joining us too. So just the 8 templates, that's all you need to baste and sew together. And remember, you do not need to baste the bottom part. See, I'm using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance for the first time, and it's funny to me to see everything covered. But if you can see, I did not baste the bottom bit. I'm just leaving it open for all the future possibilities. Maybe I'll just make this into a Dresden too. Who knows, right? So it's not basted. I've just basted the 4 sides, the 2 short sides first, and then the 2 long sides. And this is the order of the basting here. So this one, template A, is very, very easy. It's going to get more difficult as we get into the sparkly bits. But we have a little time to get used to sewing in rounds. So I think this is good exercise too. Let's see. Any questions? Is anyone else using this collection? I would love to see like, oh, our expanding Dresdens will look so different, even if you use same collections, right? Oh, Wendy's 5th floor hospital room has a roof garden she can watch. Oh, that's lovely. I love that. Make sure I didn't miss any questions. So I think this is fairly straightforward. Templates A, yes. And then if you're still stuck deciding on fabrics, don't feel like you're falling behind. There's no such thing. Just choose something that you love and then that you like. Just a little tip. I used to buy fabric collections and save them for that someday project that I thought would be perfect. And to be honest, some of the fabrics I bought like years ago, it's like, why did I buy this? And then, not too crazy about now, right? So if you love something now, my suggestion is to use it for projects because you're gonna love it right now, right? So before, use your fabrics before you outgrow them, and also that's an excuse to buy more fabrics down the line. Let's see. And Happy asks, is the last 2 rows the only difference between the 48 inch and the 40 inch? Yeah, so the 40 inch ends with template G. And if you make the 48 inch, there's no template G. And then we have H and I and J. H, I, and J in the 48 inch. Those are the 2 differences. Oh, and Penny asks, how do you use that plastic blade to remove the paper from the templates? I finally used the pin. So, so I included the plastic razor blade for the templates, acrylic templates, so that you could use them. It's because with the pin, because it's metallic, right? It's very, very easy to scratch the acrylic templates. Whereas the plastic razor blades, you won't scratch it because it's plastic, right? So you would totally just use the corner of the plastic razor blade to lift up the edge and to unpeel it. So that's, ow, I hit my elbow. So that's what it's used for. So I know it might take a little getting used to, but it'll save you from getting scratches on your acrylic templates. And if you don't mind getting a little scratch by trying to undo the paper with the pin, then that's fine too. Or you might have more finesse than I do because I'm like sitting there with the pin like scratching the whole thing. So that's why I really like the plastic razor blades. That way you avoid scratching your templates. So Jenny says, I thought about adding it into mine, but I kept finding more tilde in my stash, and so I set it all aside for the next project. Oh, the one with the faces? Yeah. You can definitely use it for, I think for bigger quilt blocks, it'll look nicer with the faces in there, where you can fit the whole thing. Yeah. And because of the repeats and on the piece of fabric I had, I wouldn't be able to like get the same face location, if that makes sense. And that would kind of look funny, I think, if I had like the face like on every template. Although she doesn't look like this. What does she do? I think she holds something and then you see like a hand and like the face. Let's see here. Angel says, regarding buying more fabric, I was at an estate sale on Saturday at the home of a quilter. Oh my god. Fabric collection has been expanded. Hello, Angela. Photos or it didn't happen. Hello, we need to see photos. Click. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to share with us. I can't wait to see. It's gonna be so exciting. Wow, that must have been like one interesting estate sale. Yeah. How lucky. Lucky. Uh, yes. So like Salsa says, Tilda is great for different collections going together. So yes, my next round is gonna be a different Tilda collection because I couldn't make the look I wanted from this collection. So I was like, let me see what else I have that's Tilda, right? To mix in. So you'll see a different collection of Tilda in the B templates next week. But yes, yeah, see, even Jenny agrees. Yeah, Tilda fabrics, you'll be able to mix and match between different collections and they'll flow together beautifully. Kind of like Brenda Riddle too, right? All her collections, like you can mix and match and you wouldn't know, no one would know the difference. Like, oh, that's different collection. Or that's a different collection because they just go together so well. Uh, yay! Angela's gonna share photos so we can all drool over all her fabric stash that she got. Can't wait to see. Let's see here. Any other questions? Or everyone's pretty good with the 8 templates, right? Not too difficult and not too much homework. I think, and it's a good size round to get together, like based and sew together for next week. And then for next week, have your B templates ready and your B fabrics ready. That's when the basting you're gonna like want to like pay closer attention. This one you really can't go wrong. Just make sure you stay consistent in your basting order. The short sides first and then the 2 long sides, and do not baste the bottom side. Do not baste it. Unless you're thread basting and you need to baste through it for stability's sake. If you're glue basting, just baste those 4. And if you find out how to thread baste without having to thread baste the bottom, that's excellent too. Let's see here. Let's see. Make sure I don't think I missed any questions. And I'll be checking in throughout the day, like regularly in the sew along group, the expanding Dresden sew along. Where are we? There we go. And so that's the best place to join us. I won't answer sew along questions inside the Facebook group because just the thought of like trying to dig through for questions in there is making me want to break out in hives. So make sure you join the sew along group. It's much more focused and intimate, and everyone's super nice and friendly. So don't be scared to join us in there. Ooh, I'm so excited for Happy. Look, Happy showed a quilt shop owner pictures of her EPP, the Bellagio quilt that we've been making here too in the EPP Society, and her EPP stars too, beautiful stars. Now she wants her to teach a class on EPP. So excited for you, Happy. Hooray! Let's see. Oh, see, so like I said, Hane, she's a thread baster, and this is her tip if you're thread basting. And she said, put a wonder clip at the bottom while basting, then it will be fine. See, ta-da! Awesome tip. Love that. Thank you very much. Yes. See? Oh, so fun. Can't wait to see. And I think I got all the questions. So make sure to come join us in the sew along group so you can ask any questions throughout the sew along and come share your progress photos. Along and show the link again for all our replay watchers. And then this replay, I'll leave it up here for today, and then I'm just gonna move it into the school group. That's where it'll be, into the sew along group. So make sure you come and join us there. Right? Yes. Like Sasa said, happy congratulations. That's brilliant. I'm not surprised. Your work is fabulous. I have to say one thing though. I love the word brilliant. Like, why don't we use brilliant more here in the US? So I know when someone uses the word brilliant, they're not in the US. Love it. But I think I'm going to start using it too. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. So once again, here's the link to the sew along group, elise.live/sew along. Come join us there. And we shall all see you in there. And I'll see you inside the group throughout the day. Make sure to post your progress photos. And if you're not sure how to share your progress photos in there, ask. Like, there's no question that's silly or dumb. Don't feel shy. Come and ask questions inside the school group too, because I know it's a new platform and it takes a little getting used to, but we have lots of the EPP Society members in there that are way more experienced, right? And they'll be more than happy to help you out too, because they're like, masters at uploading photos and videos, So come and join inside the So Long group, and I think that's it. Yes, and next week make sure you have all the template A's basted and sewn together into the round with one side open if you're making a skirt, or a completed round if you're just making the full Dresden. Okay? And we'll see you next week. Bye!